Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my name is Hidayah binti Sobbri, and today I would like to present my lab exercise 2 for manipulate GIS tools for LLS 618 GIS in landscape architecture. Okay. In lab exercise 2, I have learned on the attribute data management, data display and cartography, and data exploration. So in real life, we can apply the study to produce a map. For example, we can produce a map that related or that showing the COVID-19 cases population in Malaysia. So here, this is the example that I get from S3. Okay, so for chapter 8, task 1, I have learned on how to enter attribute data using a geodatabase feature class and a domain. Okay, the domain and its coded values can restrict the values to be entered and can prevent from the data entry errors. Okay, for chapter 8, task 4, in task 4, I study about how the existing attribute data can be used for data classification and creation of a new attribute. Okay, for chapter 8, task 6, I have studied and learned on how a new file can be created and computed from existing attribute data. Okay, next, for chapter 9, I have doing 3 tasks, which is task 1, task 2, and task 3. Okay, for task 1, which is I need to make a chloroplet map. Okay, I create a map that showing the rate of population change between 2000 and 2010 by state, which is consists of Terminus United States, Alaska, and Hawaii map. And also, I input the other elements such as legend, title, bar scale, and north arrow. Okay, well, for task 2, task 2 is actually how we can modify the spatial features for increasing the flexibility in symbol design. And in this task, I have been asking to make text labeling and highway shield symbols for interstate and US highway. Okay, the last point for chapter 9 is task 3. Okay, task 3 is it was asking me to label the streams. Okay, in task 3, I learned on a dynamic labeling method, which is I can adjust the individual labels on overlap labels, and I have explored the SP line text tools for this test. Next, for chapter 10, okay, in chapter 10, I have doing all the tests, which is task 1 until task 6. Okay, for chapter 10, task 1, I have learned about how to select snow courses within the 40 miles of Sun Valley, Idaho, and I also need to plot the chart for the selected area. Okay, next, in chapter 10, task 2, I learned on how to create a dynamic chart, okay, which is I also create a scatter plot from the selected records that I get from task 1 and see how is the connection between the plot, the attribute table, and the map. Okay, next, for task 3, I have focused on learn about the attribute data query that related with the task 2, and in task 4, I have linked the tables in the database properly and explore the sort attributes and also see the location of the selected records. Okay, next, for chapter 10, task 5, I need to combine the spatial and attribute data queries. Okay, I have been asked to locate potential sites for a hot spring resort in Idaho. And for the spring resort, the criteria that I have choose is must within 2 miles of major road, and for the water temperature, it is greater than 60 degrees Celsius. Okay, lastly for chapter 10, task 6. Okay, in task 6, I have built a query raster data. Okay, I learned on a different methods for querying a single raster or multiple rasters. I have using the raster calculators tool for this task. Okay, for the conclusion, okay, actually in chapter 8, I have learned on how to use a geodatabase feature class and domain. I also create a new attribute or a new region and trying to compute it from the existing attribute data. Okay, and here is the example picture that I got from Google for chapter 8. Okay. Okay, next for chapter 9. Okay, in chapter 9, I have created a map of population growth and incorporate the representations to symbolize and also learn about the complex presence or processes of labeling. Okay, and last but not least, in chapter 10, I have figured out that we can actually do a data exploration, a mini data exploration without the limit in GIS, and it also a media for one of the medium for a data exploration and data manipulation. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.